For companies in the audiovisual and digital signage spaces, trade shows, exhibitions, and conferences are an important way to let people know what each company is up to, obviously try and get some leads and potential customers, and just touch base with the channel. The biggest one in the United States for a company like ours, Visix, is InfoComm, which is run by the Audiovisual and Integrated Experience Association, or AVIXA. This year, InfoComm is in Las Vegas on June 12th, 13th, and 14th, and of course, Visix will be there. What's Visix going to be talking about? What are they going to be showing? Well, who better to tell me than the president and CEO of Visix, Sean Matthews, who joins me today. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Derek. How are you today?
I'm very good. Thanks for coming on.
Yep, glad to be here. Thank you.
And thank you, everybody out there, for listening to this episode of Digital Signage Done Right. I remind you that you may subscribe if you care to the podcast, and you can follow along with a transcript of the conversation on the Visix website under Resources and Podcasts. Whether you're using digital signage or not, our podcast gives you practical tips for communications and content to better engage your audience. I'm Derek DeWitt. Welcome to Digital Signage Done Right. Okay, so InfoComm, Visix was one of the first companies I think ever to go to InfoComm, right?
Yeah, we've been supporting the audiovisual integration channel for over 40 years now, and we actually were exhibiting at InfoComm when it was called NAVA, the National Audiovisual Association. NAVA became InfoComm the association, and then InfoComm the association changed into AVIXA, but the show is still called InfoComm. So we've been doing it a long time.
I hope everybody's following. It gets complicated when you go back that far. Of course, as usual, you guys are going to be there, and this year, of course, I know a lot of people are talking AI, and there'll be a lot of talk about that stuff. You guys are eschewing that for now, and instead, my understanding is you're really focusing on sort of sustainability and hybrid stuff, and what you're calling the digital signage ecosystem.
Yeah, we are definitely focused on the digital signage ecosystem. Digital signage is at the core of what we do, and we're really focused on not just the ecosystem, but the people experience, and beyond the people experience, hybrid offices and sustainability. What we're really going to be focused on at the event is a combination of things all under the ecosystem: digital signage, interactive wayfinding, and space management, all coming together to really complete a visual communication solution.
So obviously you're going to be talking about your flagship product, Access TV Signage Suite, which is your content management system, and of course obviously requires players and things. So that's going to be all about visual communications and so on. And I know there's been a lot more interactive projects lately as well. It seems like that's really taking off. Yeah,
actually, we went through a period post-pandemic where interactive projects really were in a bit of a slump, just because people weren't back in buildings yet, and then budgets changed dramatically during that pandemic period. And believe it or not, like in a world like ours, where the technology is typically employed in places where people congregate or come together, it's actually been a few years since we really had any rush or demand for interactive projects. But it is stormed back this year, and our creative services offering is up by 50% this year. So clearly we're going to focus on that. But beyond that, interactive experience and touching screens, one thing that you are going to see this year that we've not really talked about, we haven't said much about it because it was kind of coming down to the wire, but we're going to be showing interactive experiences using gesture control. And so literally using cameras and other AI-related technologies, we have an integrated solution for gesture-oriented wayfinding. So it's actually going to be quite cool.
So there you go. AI sneaks in, even though everybody's going to use it for something. I think that's a great use of AI, though, because gesture control just seems like something people want. I want it For sure. I mean, I know I keep, whenever it comes up, I talk about that movie Minority Report, but yeah, that's the tech we want. We don't want to touch things anymore.
Yeah, and I do think AI has its place in digital signage, and a lot of people talk about it. And really, if you just get down to the fundamentals of AI in our space, you'd be looking at things like textual references, create some informative message that is succinct, et cetera, using AI or image generation. But a lot of what really is going on with AI in our space right now is data analytics. And that typically applies to retail environments, which is not something that we really focus on as a business. I mean, our ecosystem is about the people experience in offices, college campuses, government facilities, et cetera.
Right, right. So, Access TV Signage Suite has these, as you said, touch and voice, both contactless ways to create interactive projects, sort of now built into the actual software itself. Which is, I think, quite cool. So people can easily experiment with them. Hey, maybe they work for you, maybe they don't, whatever. And I notice in my notes that you're also just kind of you've really managed to find a way to just make things much more flexible, which I think is nice, whether it's scalable licensing or it's flexible deployment. It can be cloud, it can be on-premise, it could be hybrid, you could do software only, or you could have hardware bundled with it. And even the pricing schemes themselves are flexible. Lots of different offerings. It seems like you found a way to give more variety and more choice for people to kind of buffet style a little bit this enterprise level system.
Yeah, I mean, that's our goal, is to make it simple to fund, simple to deploy, simple to onboard, right? I mean, all of those things, factor into the overall experience, particularly on the end user side. So, yeah, we've incorporated all of those things, as you've noted. And we have one of the most robust media player solutions out there in terms of what we support from a Windows appliance perspective. And that added to all the other things, we have a really good, widely accepted enterprise platform that is now extending into and beyond just signage into the ecosystem, which now includes room sign offerings that are quite unique, so creative service offerings that are unique as well, all sort of tied into a sustainable space management offering as well.
Right. Obviously, in addition to room signs, you now have a pretty wide variety or array of EPS signs, electronic paper signs, which use e-ink and are just like super, super, super low energy. They only use power when they change the image. So when the image is just sitting there, no power is actually being used at all, which is fantastic. And they're small, or they can be different sizes, but some of them are quite small, and they're very flexible solutions. And now you're pairing that with this Koros product, which is actually an appless, contactless space booking solution that uses native AR on the phone. All you need is your smartphone and a camera, and you can then combine that with EPS signs and then availability lights, which are ultra low power. So it's this real whole, again, pick and choose. Which of these things do you want? Do you need a room sign? Do you just need an EPS? Do you want to use Koros? Do you want to use Koros with lights, without lights, with EPS, without EPS? It's just a whole bunch of possibilities have opened up.
Yeah, and so Derek, we've been in the quote unquote room sign business for almost 20 years, and there are about 50 different companies that offer some type of digital room sign. And so our approach, is to really start to pivot away from these digital signs as room signs, because there are just much more efficient ways to deliver the same experience, and in fact improve upon that experience. As you noted, we have a bring your own device space booking product, right, which is based on the augmented reality technology built into everybody's phone. We've paired that with some ultra low power availability lights. These things consume 0.6 watts, right? Which is a tiny amount of energy.
I don't even know if I'd feel it if I got shocked by it.
Well, I mean, to put it in perspective, 0.6 watts versus 30 watts per digital room sign, right? I mean, that's just an extreme difference. And now we've paired the BYOD device, the availability lights with electronic paper signs, as you noted, and not just signs like the size of a sheet of paper. We have a wide variety of signs, that are 4.7-inch diagonal, 2.7-inch diagonal, 7.4-inch diagonal. So, various sign sizes so that you can incorporate them not just at rooms. You can take these signs all the way down to a workstation or desk or anything that you consider to be bookable. Could be a ping pong table, could be a game room, could be a parking space. It doesn't matter. And so now, you can book any of these things with just your own device and get the instant feedback, knowing whether or not it's available or not, and or whether or not you've booked the space.
Right. Yeah, and these EPS signs, I mean, like you said, you can put them anywhere because they're easy to mount. They're really lightweight. And this year, you now have the new EPS 27.
Yeah, so this was designed specifically to mount to a desk. So if you think about the lip of a desk, there's a little mounting bracket with about a 30-degree angle so that you can see it as you walk into space. And it's designed specifically for hybrid work environments where you're going to incorporate hoteling or hot desking or some other booking approach for hybrid work. And so, yeah, this is a cool new feature, and we're looking forward to the feedback.
So when you kind of combine all these things together, when you're scheduling things or booking things, I think it's fair to say that you now have 4 real ways to show schedules, for example. Obviously, you can stick a schedule up on a digital sign, or you can have the digital signage CMS talk to a calendar behind the scenes and automatically pull data and put it up there on the screens for people to see so that it's always fresh and up to date. And now you have these 3 different types of room signs as well that can also show schedules.
Yeah, so we have the complete package, true enterprise solution. We've been in the event display business since our inception. That was the original impetus of this type of technology, which was to show event schedules. That's what people wanted to see because they wanted to know what was going on. And so, yeah, I mean, just as you noted, the 3 types of room signs that we have is a product that we call Touch 10, a product that we call Connect, and then electronic paper signs. So we have the complete solution there. And you can see it all at in the central hall at InfoComm in Las Vegas.
If you're interested in maybe expanding your idea of what digital signage means, because, it really did start out as a fairly simplistic product. And now it's this whole broad, as you call it, an ecosystem, and maybe get some more information on what sustainable space management is really all about and see what is possible to make the hybrid workspace concept fit your specific location or organization, then you should certainly pop by the Visix booth. In the Central Hall, it is booth C8135. And if you haven't already got your exhibit hall pass, you can use the Visix VIP code, which I'm going to tell you right now. It is VIS465. And in addition to everything else, I think you guys are also going to have refreshments throughout the day.
Yeah, stop by at any time. I think it's easier to understand what sustainable space management looks like in person. And of course, you can then have the experience of seeing our entire ecosystem. We'll have free drinks and snacks throughout the day. Stop by and see us. And if you want some more information about what we're going to be showing, you can certainly find it online at visix.com/InfoComm.
All right. And that's InfoComm with 2 M's. And for those of you who are hardware people, don't worry. There's hardware as well. As we said, obviously, you have mounting brackets, but we also have the players, the media players, and the hardware as a service option as well. This helps you be more adaptive in everything that you're trying to do. So if you want a real idea of all the possibilities that currently exist for digital signage, you should certainly stop by the Visix booth at InfoComm in Las Vegas. That is, again, June 12th, 9 to 5. June 13th, 9 to 5, and June 14th, 9 to 4. Plus, it's in Las Vegas. And in this particular case, what you do in your free time may stay in Las Vegas, but hopefully what you see at the Visix booth, you will take home with you.
Very good, sir.
Well, it's very exciting. I know you guys put a lot of effort into this each year, and I know you're looking forward to it. And so, bon chance, as the French would say, and break a leg, as the people in the theater world would say. Have a great show.
Great. Thank you. We look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you. Again, that's booth C8135, and you can use the VIP code VIS465 to get your free exhibit hall pass. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. Thank you, Sean Matthews, President and CEO of Visix, for talking to me today. And I remind you again that you can read along with a transcript on the Visix website of the conversation that Sean and I just had.
Awesome.
For more free stuff, head to resources on Visix.com for guides, videos, and more to help with your visual communications. Please subscribe and share, and contact us for information about our digital signage solutions.